Hello, Adam. This is Rudy Sarzo from Quiet Riot, dropping by to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Jason, Michelle, Rachel, Brooklyn, and Zach told me that you own a coffee roasting business. Well, me being from Cuba, that really resonated with me. I just love coffee so much. I was a child when I first started drinking coffee. So being in the Christmas spirit, I'm going to share with you something very few people have seen. My Ozzy and Quiet Riot Gold and Platinum record collection and some stories behind them. Okay, this one, single. Do you remember what this is? It's a single. I don't know how old you are, but this is the equivalent of what we have now. It's like the iTunes. We just buy one song, except that the single had on, you flip it and had another song in the back, right? So this is to commemorate the sale of 1 million of these little singles for Come and Feel the Noise, right? What makes it unique is the fact that that single came from the Mental Health record, which is right here. And right now is over, well, it was over 10 million worldwide sold of this album 20 years ago. So right now, I think we have a couple more sold. But right now, because everything is either streaming, Spotify, stuff like that, it's hard to gauge how many, because there's no records being sold. Some people buy vinyl, but it's not like they used to back in the day, So anyways, what's really interesting about having a single from a multi-platinum record, a number one album. We were the first debut metal band to reach number one on Billboard magazine, So we sold a lot of LPs. So what happened is this, Come on, Feel the Noise. If you listen to it, come on, feel the noise, 3 blind mice. It's a nursery rhyme. So when the song either came on the radio or on MTV video, little children would start singing along. And that would be the song that would like, hey, can you play me that song again? And they'll go, well, we don't have the record. So, I want the record. Okay, so the parents, when they went to the store, they had the choice of just buying the single instead of buying the whole record because, it's mom and dad. They don't have time to bang their heads. They're taking care of the kids, So they would just buy the single. And it happened a lot. It happened at least 1 million times. So that's how we got the gold single for Come and Feel the Noise. Okay, as far as the Mental Health, oh my God. This year we're celebrating 40 years of Mental Health. And I gotta tell you, it was divine intervention how I got to play on this record. I was still a member of Ozzy, and I get a phone call from Kevin Dubrow, and he says, there's a possible record deal. We're in the studio. How would you like to come down and play on Thunderbird? Now, Thunderbird is a song that Kevin wrote for Randy when Randy left Quiet Riot in 1979. Quiet Riot ceased to exist as a band. Kevin put his own band together called Dubrow, and I used to play with Kevin and Dubrow and live with him up until I joined Ozzy Osbourne. So I knew a lot of the songs that wound up on the Mental Health record from having played them in Dubrow. So here I am, I'm still a member of Ozzy, but Randy had passed away in March, and we're in September of 1982. And so I get the phone call from Kevin, and I say, yes, I'll come on down. Of course, I would love to do that for Randy. And I get there, and they're on the drums. And again, this is the band Dubrow. This is not Quiet Riot yet. Again, the Mental Health version of the band. And there's Frankie Benelli. Frankie and I had a history 10 years prior to us going in the studio to record Thunderbird. So we started playing together. We met on my birthday, November 18th, 1972. And this is 1982. So here we are. And I lost my joy of making music when Randy passed away. That collective consciousness that we had was gone, And so here I am with Frankie, my old rhythm section partner, and we lived together in LA. We left Florida when disco came in and we moved to Chicago. We had such a long history playing together, and we ran out of money and stopped playing together, doing different projects. And here, finally, we're in the studio for the first time, 1982. And that brought so much comfort and joy for me to be playing with Frankie again. And of course, Kevin. Now, Carlos, I had never met him before or played with him before. Well, played, of course, obviously, or met him. But I knew of him from his band, Snow. I knew about the band from the circuit. So I was aware of Carlos, but we didn't have a history. So we tracked Thunderbird really quickly. And then the producer goes, well, we got a few hours left in the session, and how would you like to? Do you remember Slick Black Cadillac? And that's the only song that made it from the Randy Rhoads era of Quiet Riot to the Mental Health record. So we cut that really quickly, and then a couple of Dubrow songs, "Love's the Bitch" and "Let's Get Crazy." So by the time I left the session, I had already played on 4 songs for Mental Health. I mean, it wasn't named Mental Health yet, but this is what it became. The band did not get renamed Quiet Riot until I returned to the band, and then there was 2 members of Quiet Riot, the Randy Rhoads version playing together again. Kevin, and the guys thought it would be the best to do that, rename it Quiet Riot, a band, rather than Dubrow, which was more of a solo artist. So a couple of days later, after that session, I go over to New York to record Speak of the Devil. And in case you don't know, this is the Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath era songs, classics from that era. And we did it live at the Ritz in New York. And it was definitely live, because I left the band 2 days later when I got back to LA. No time for overdubs or anything. And we were told on the way to the stage by Sharon, come on, boys, you better play really good tonight because there's not going to be any overdubs. What you play is what's going to be on the record. So, we knew. We knew what was going to happen. And, whether I stayed in the band or not, there was not going to be any overdubs. So I came back to LA, where I live, and the thought of playing with Kevin and Frankie kept lingering, and I said, you know what? I got to get the joy of making music back in my life. So I came back to LA, gave Ozzy's management notice that I was leaving the band, and 40 years later, we're celebrating 40 years of Mental Health. And I hope you come out to see us when we play in your area. So I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. God bless you, and bang your head.